Boys, there has been so much that has changed since our last budget beast video. There's just been a lot of really good cards that are becoming super cheap and very obtainable. Cards that you guys can definitely get to build your God Squad, and they will perform just as good as some of those absolute legends. Some of them are even pretty dang close to some of those set 3 collection cards, which is crazy to say, but it's unreal the amount of bang for your buck on the market right now. We're going to be going over 10 guys that you need in this video. But before we get into this video, make sure you guys drop a like and a sub as we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you took time out of your day to hit that sub button, and let's get right into it. If you guys want cheap stubs, make sure you guys go to u4gm.com. What they will end up doing is all they do is you give them your ID, their password, they do it all for you, and then you just put in my coupon code for Brady to get 5% off your purchase. Link will be in the description below. All right, so I like to start this video off every single time with some honorable mentions. This is our first honorable mention. We're starting it off with a bang. There's just, I don't know why I didn't want him on the squad. I didn't put him in the top 10. He's very good though. For roughly 20,000 stubs, you can get Justin Turner, who's pretty much max contact versus right and left with max power versus left and decent fielding at third base. He can also sneak into second base, which is actually kind of a lot of utility. He's pretty good over there, and he'll definitely get the job done. But Justin Turner makes the honorable mentions in this list. The next guy sitting at about 20,000 stubs is Mariano Rivera. Now, Rivera could have totally made the top 10 list. The reason why I didn't put him is because he is a reward path guy. I wanted to stay away from those, and so we're staying away from those, and he's an honorable mention. But if you don't have him, pick him up because he's going for 20K, and he's one of the best closers in the game. And our last honorable mention is going to be Willie McCovey. He's going for about 18,000 stubs, and this is why he's my honorable mention, is because he's one of the best bench bats you can get versus righties. With 114 clutch versus righties, 125 power versus righty. He's also pretty much a platoon guy. I wouldn't face this guy versus lefties. However, he's got a really good swing, and he absolutely mashes righties, so he makes the honorable mentions. Starting the number 10 spot for about 20K, you can get Dr. Smooth Michael Brantley. This card's crazy, guys. He's actually kind of crazy. 125, 111 versus righties, and 118.86 versus lefties. He's got max vision and max clutch, meaning that this card absolutely rails on Hall of Fame. Like, he can hold his own on Hall of Fame and Legend. This is your guy. He can absolutely rake. So I would recommend picking this guy up. He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. For under 20K, this card can compete with the best of them in left field. Pretty good fielding out there. He's not going to do anything crazy, but it's not bad. Definitely good enough to play left field. And he's just got that buttery swing. A smooth, buttery swing. At the number 9 spot, we have our first super utility card of the video. Now, the reason why I like Honus Wagner is he flat out can do everything. First of all, 99 bunt. He can bunt cheese. If you're one of those guys, he can do it. 92 speed, he can bunt cheese, he can play any position, literally any position, and he absolutely is just, he's great. Diamond fielding and shortstop, pretty great speed, good all around, not a bad swing at all. This used to be the big collection card for a reason, and these are pretty similar stats. Like, he's a really good card, and he'll be gap to gap. I know that 80 power isn't a lot nowadays, but gap to gap, and he'll hit the occasional homer. Great contact numbers, great clutch, great vision, 5-tool player. The Flying Dutchman can play anywhere, and you can pick him up on your squad for about 18,000 stubs. At the number 8 spot, we've got our first reliever, and I just love Clase. 123 hits per 9, 120 pitching clutch with an outlier cutter. It gets up to 102. It is disgusting and very hard to face. I know that he doesn't have like a changeup or anything, and a lot of people will use that to discriminate against this card. However, he's really good, and you can get him up for about 15,000 stubs. Definitely a back-end bullpen piece. And with the cutter and the four-seam tunneling, like, you can kind of play in and out with it, and you're going to have people guessing. You're not going to be able to hit that cutter. It's disgusting. It's absolutely gross, and I love Clase for that reason, and so that's why he makes the number 8 spot in this video. At the number 7 spot today, we have one of the best hitters in this video. It's Larry Walker. Oh my gosh, if you've ever used these cards in past games, Dude, he's just really, really good. Like, one of the most underrated cards. Booger Larry Walker. 125, 115 with good fielding out in right field. You get him up 2 parallels, he'll be up to 90 fielding out there. Pretty good arm, pretty good all around. I know he doesn't show that he does, but he has pretty good contact versus lefties, and he usually hits lefties pretty well too. It's just kind of that swing. I don't know what to say about it, but it's a really good lefty on lefty swing too. Kind of reminds me of our number 1 spot. I'll kind of hint at it, but he's even better. But Booger is definitely a guy that you guys are gonna want. He's very, very fun to use, and he flat out rakes. He's a really good bat that you can get for about 20-ish K. He has risen up 2K, so he's a little outside the budget, but still for 22K, one of the best guys in the game. And at the number 6 spot today, we've got one of my personal favorites. We've got Prince Fielder. I couldn't make this video without putting Prince Fielder. Whenever I saw his price drop down to about 14,000 stubs, my jaw dropped. It absolutely dropped. The reason why it did is just he's got that buttery swing. Now, the one thing I will say, his contact numbers are not the greatest, but Prince Fielder is just such a fun card, and for 14K, I decided to put him up this high in the video. He might not be as good as some of those other guys, but he's got a really good swing, and he's really fun to play with. I used to love watching the Milwaukee Brewers, so this one is a little bit biased, but I got him all the way up at the 6th spot just because he does kind of absolutely rake versus righties, and lefties, he's not horrible. Like, you get him paralleled up, he'll be around 100, and so that's all you can really ask for a first baseman who's a lefty. He's all right, and he'll definitely get the job done. A lot of fun in the 6th spot, Prince Fielder, 14K. At the number 5 spot, I'm breaking my own rule just a little bit, and here's how I'm justifying it. Okay, Buck O'Neil. You can get him for 18K right now, and I know that you're going to get him from the XP reward path, but I don't necessarily think that this is going to be the first pick. And one of the things I wanted to say about Buck is Buck kind of plays. Buck kind of plays. I don't know if you guys have been looking at this card so much. This is one that I didn't really look at that much whenever he first came out. I was like, Buck O'Neil, I don't really care. But Buck O'Neil will have max contact versus right and left when you get him paralleled up. Pretty good power numbers and great vision, great clutch. 99 fielding at first base, so he'll pick all of the horrible throws that I make. With 99 reaction, he also can play a corner outfield spot with diamond fielding, so that's kind of something to think about. He's got a good enough arm to do it and good enough reaction to do it as well, and he's got a 5-tool, 85 speed, 88 steal is kind of an interesting first base card. One of the most interesting first base cards I think we've had in a long time. So that's why I decided to put him in the top 5. I'm not going to put any of the other guys like Jock Peterson, who I think is better than Buck O'Neil, but I would genuinely use these guys. Like, I think they're very, very good and very fun. 4th spot today, we have one of the hardest relief pitchers to face in the game. It's Camilo Doval, another all-star game guy. And he's so good. He's so good. You got to get this guy. You got to get him. Sinker, cutter, slider. And they all look different. And it's really hard to face on any difficulty. Like, All-Star Hall of Fame legend, max hits per 9. Like, he is very, very good. And that outlier cutter, dude, oh my goodness. It's 102, it's on the black. It moves a lot. He's got good control with 99 control on his slider, 92 on his cutter, and 84 on his sinker. Definitely play, and the 99 break on the slider and the sinker. Like, he is gross. He controls it. It moves a lot. It's wild. It's wild. Just get him. Just get him. He's gross. Now, when I say my jaw dropped on the price of this card right here, it absolutely dropped. Oh my goodness, Chris Sale is going for like 23,000 stubs right now, all right? And that's crazy. This is the budget Randy Johnson. I have him in my top 5 for pitchers in this game. In my rankings video, I got him in my top 5. He's funky, he's weird, he's got amazing control of 4 pitches, and it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. He's not as good as Randy Johnson, but he's probably the 2nd best lefty in the game. If you don't have a really good left-handed arm, get Chris Sale, okay? He can dot up, and when you've got that fastball slider working, dude, it doesn't matter who you're facing, they're getting absolutely ran. As we get into our top 2 cards, these cards are some of the best cards in the game, and the fact that we can get these cards for really cheap is just so awesome. I love MLB The Show. I love that this is obtainable, but at the number 2 spot, we've got Matt Holliday. One of the most underrated cards in the game. I think that he's one of the most underrated cards in the game. flat out rakes, absolutely rakes. Great contact numbers, great vision, great clutch. Like, he can do it all. Decent fielding in left field. Oh, he's got that buttery swing. It's a Matt Holliday card, so it's a card that hasn't really been used the past couple years. A ton of fun, and he is going for a mind-boggling 10,500 stubs right now on the market, guys. He is so cheap. He's dirt cheap, and he is so good. I understand he's a set 2 card, and he won't be able to be used forever, but he's still really, really good. Pick this guy up. Use him this season. For 11K, you're not going to be missing out. He's not going to drop a lot more than 11K. You're going to be holding your value there. At the number 1 spot today, we have my favorite card in Diamond Dynasty. My literal favorite card in Diamond Dynasty, and it is a crime that this card is going for 21K. I spent 120,000 stubs to buy this card. 120,000 stubs when he came out because I just knew he was amazing. And what's so good about Yordan Alvarez, number 1, his swing is very, very good. It is elite. It's one of the best swings in the game. And he can hold his own versus both sides of the plate. He might be better versus lefties. 117, 109 with not the greatest vision, but okay vision and really good clutch. Like, this card's pretty good. He's also a check swing wizard. With the 114 discipline, it actually kind of helps, but he rakes. I love this card. He hits some of the craziest homers. I've hit a homer 510 feet with this guy. It's so much fun. You can get him for 21K. His value, it's not going to go down, and he might honestly be my wild card in a little bit just because I've had so much fun with this card and I love him to death. So I'm probably going to keep on using Yordan, but he definitely makes the top of this list. Let me know if there's anybody that you guys have been using that I left out of this video that you guys really, really like, because I love hearing the type of budget beast that you guys have. I know that I kind of went away from a lot of the guys that are XP reward path, or I went away from some of the guys that are like arms or pitchers. So let me know who you guys have been using who have been really good for you. Maybe if you have an interesting wild card, I'd love to hear it in the comment section down below. I'll talk to you boys later. Drop a sub if you haven't already, and peace.